I'm back at Scheel Drive. We're doing a quick stop. And we're just digging for some calcites. I pulled this guy out already. Back in the same spot I was before, but I actually have my tools this time. Last time I was just here on a whim and it didn't have any of my tools, but this time I'm here and got serious stuff, so just digging out of here. Now, I know you folks are gonna say that I'm just digging in the discard pile, but all my best finds here have been found in a discard pile, so, you know, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. And people say this place is picked over. You just got to put a little more effort into, like, digging out and removing material, because you'll still find some really cool stuff. Just got to put a bit more effort in. That might have some crystals on it. I'll have to look at that more in depth. But you just have to put a little more effort in, which I know some people don't want to do, which is fine. You know, that's not your style of rock hounding, and that's not your style of rock hounding. But just gonna dig a little bit more. It might be raining, so we might actually have to leave soon. I'm just using my sifter that I got recently. It's kind of hard to do the sifting with one hand. There we go. And just like looking for the dogtooth crystals. I think I see a kind of a cluster here. It's kind of cruddy, so I'll put that on the pile for people to take. But yeah, just digging through, kind of sifting out. I'm looking for the really nice big ones. So far, this is what I found. I have a couple nice sized ones, like this one. This one's quite fantastic. It's got some good coloration and gemminess to it, and I don't think it's too damaged. I don't see any super. Sorry, it's not in view. I don't think it's too damaged. It looks pretty good. Hopefully I find a couple more like that. Like, because there might be some interesting stuff here. You just have to put a little more effort in, maybe dig a bit more. But obviously there's still stuff here, even in the discard piles. So, gonna keep looking. I'm looking for some nice big gemmy ones. It's my goal today, since I found some smaller, cooler stuff last time I was here. It's the big guys I'm after this time. So unless it's absolutely superb, I'm not taking it home. I'll leave it off the side for other people to enjoy. You can see there is stuff here. It's a little cluster of dogtooth. But I'm just gonna keep sifting. If I find any other big ones, I'll let you know. Here's the big one cleaned up fully. It's got minimal damage to it, mostly just contact damage where it fell off of another cluster of points. But it's a pretty nice example. It's not too. With the Scheel Drive specimens, some of them are too heavily included, so the kind of the crystal structure of the calcite gets lost in the inclusions, or with the inclusions, I guess. This is a nice large example. It's got some etching just to wear it from exposure to the elements in the discard pile I was digging through. It's obviously going to have some rainwater go through, and that's going to lightly etch the crystal. So it does have, if you look closely, you can see there are etch marks, and that's just comes with being in a discard pile. But overall, yeah, pretty nice, decent sized calcite crystal. Now let's get back to the video. I was just digging in here, and then this small section, I found all of these. Some of these are a bit crummier, but there's some good ones like this one in the middle. It's quite good, and there's some other gemmy ones. But you can see there's still stuff here to find. It's not picked over. You just gotta look a little harder than maybe usual. This one was one of my favorites of the trip. I just love the clarity of the tip. It's got some nice clarity to it. And the bottoms have the inclusion, so it's a nice little combo. But then it also has these little kind of additional dogtooth crystals kind of riding sidecar to it. These sidecar crystals. It's just a nice little combo, and it looks quite nice. It's got some nice sharp features, just very lightly etched. So overall, very nice little specimen, especially for one that I just pulled out of a discard pile. So I dug a decent amount of material out, and once I started getting deeper down, I started finding, now this guy's pretty dirty, but I started finding some bigger crystals. You can see hopefully some of these look pretty nice once they're cleaned up, but all these kind of came from that one spot down in there. Now sometimes specimens don't turn out as well as you think they would. These three are some of the bigger ones I found on this trip, and I couldn't really tell because they were quite dirty if they were going to be good or not. And unfortunately, they didn't turn out as well as I wanted them to. They just had too many inclusions of what's, some people say graphite. I've heard a couple people say maybe hydrocarbons. I actually have a specimen that I'll throw under the microscope and to look at these inclusions, because I got a specimen that was cleaved perfectly, and you can see kind of the layer, a layer of the inclusions in the crystal. So I'm gonna take a little peek at that. But yeah, some of these just didn't turn out as well. This one just had like a tiny additional crystal growing on top of the larger crystal, but the larger crystal has mostly just been taken over by inclusions. And then this back end is just, it's got too much damage and stuff. So not every crystal is going to turn out well. This one's a bit better, but it's just the inclusions are just, do not make it look aesthetic at all. They kind of really affect the aesthetics of this specimen. It's a nice large crystal, but just too heavily included. And then this one, it's less of the inclusion issue and more of just damage, plus just very, very heavily etched. You can see just how etched it is. And that just kind of, a bit of etching doesn't hurt, but too much kind of just makes the crystal lose like clarity and just overall form and shape. I'm just gonna fill in the hole so it's not a tripping hazard, and I'm gonna get out of here. I did find a decent amount of stuff, so I'm pretty happy. But I'll get back to you guys and show you some of the clean specimens. Here is an additional crystal that I found that I thought was worth showing. This one has some heavy inclusions on the one side, but then the other side has less. And I kind of like that duality, but the inclusions aren't strong enough that they kind of cover the shape of the crystal. So I still like it. I still like the looks. I think it's still quite aesthetic. It's got some minor damage. You can see where it popped off of another calcite crystal on the back. But overall, it's a wonderful little calcite crystal, or little, decent sized. They get bigger than this, and I've definitely seen a lot bigger, but for where I was digging, I think this is a pretty decent sized crystal to have been found in a discard pile. I was hoping to get some more clear yellow crystals on this trip, some larger ones. This back one was from The first time I dug in that discard pile area, I believe that would have been my second trip to Scheel Drive that year. And then these front two are new additions. Lovely clarity. This one's actually technically a twin. You can see where the two separate crystals have fused together at the bottom. And this one is a single crystal with some smaller crystals growing off the back. Lovely color and decent clarity. But yeah, no big ones this time of this nice yellow color. I had better luck on my first dig into the discard pile, but I'm still quite happy with these. And this brings us to the end of this video. If you like this type of content and you haven't already considered it, please do consider liking and subscribing, because I do rockhounding and lapidary related videos, and if that's your cup of tea, I think my channel might be up your alley. And if you're already a subscriber and already have liked this video, please do in the comments below let me know which specimen was your favorite, or which specimens. Often I get that comment that they're all pretty neat, or a couple of them are pretty neat. So please do in the comments below let me know. And please folks, just have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in the next video.